It's still happy hour with John Gaskins. This round's on me.
USD Day. We're chatting with a couple of players down in Vermilion as the Coyotes get ready for the 2026 football season. They're ranked number 12 nationally in the Stats preseason poll. They're picked to finish fifth in the Mo Valley, which is the same thing as saying you're picked to finish in the fifth in the SEC. And of course, they're the only team in the country that has reached the quarterfinals 3 straight years. A big part of it 2 years ago, one of the best running backs in the country and a preseason All-American this year, Charles Pierre Jr., joining us about a year after we chatted with you before last season started. It was a really enjoyable conversation where we got to know Charles and his background, playing youth and high school football in Miami, growing up the son of a running back legend at Florida Atlantic, and embarking on a promising 2025 season. And here we are a year later, and a year different. So I know you've answered this question before, and it's great to see you again. But what kind of emotions and thoughts have you had in the last several months heading into this season, considering everything that happened in the year since we talked, where you were hurt in game 2, and that was it for your season, and LJ Phillips comes in and rips it up, and now you get to go right back into your spot of here we go again?
Honestly, it's like a real bittersweet, sweet feeling. I mean, getting hurt, I learned a lot about myself. Obviously, I felt like I had a lot left in the tank. But being able to see LJ do the things that he did, it was always like it was a treat to watch on the sideline just because of how close our relationship was. After the season, just rehabbing and getting back to where I am now, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, but I definitely would say I had a lot more good days than bad days, and I'm honestly just really excited and ready to play football again.
A MVFC best. He was the number 1 rusher in the Mo Valley in 2024, part of that national semifinal team for the Coyotes, best team they've had in the Division I era. 1,244 yards, first ever FCS 1,000-yard rusher at USD as well. And we're going back almost 20 years for that. And then LJ followed suit this past year. And so, before we get into the road back and the excitement you have for this season to start, we just chatted with Gabe Hartman,
Yeah.
linebacker and another preseason All-American. And it turns out not only are both of you guys from the Miami area, you played some high school football against him.
It was Pop Warner, like when we was like little
Pop
kids,
Warner.
10, 11 years old.
Did you play high school as well?
No, we didn't play against each other in high school. At that point in
Okay.
time, I was already in Orlando.
Okay. So that's right. All right. But take me back to Pop Warner. Do you actually remember
Yeah.
him? And were you a running back? And was he a linebacker even back then?
So I was a running back and a linebacker when we played against each other. We played against each other twice. One was in the semifinals of like states or like regionals, and then we played each other in Disney, which is like the main big game in Florida. So we won the first one, and then we lost the second one. But yeah, it was really good games. That was like we played them back to back years. Like it was a fun experience for sure.
Did you do you remember any head to heads with him? Him tackling you,
Not
you
necessarily.
hitting
I
him?
think we found out we played against each other when we got to college. Because we was
Okay.
talking about Little League, and then he pulled up the same game that I pulled up. I'm like, that was me, and then we didn't even know each other for real. We just found out when we got up here.
It's really, it feels like it's a very small world when the two of you come from such a big, vast, heavily populated, highly football saturated place like Miami, and you both end up. I'm sure it feels random at the University of South Dakota. One would think that you guys probably are good friends, having that in common. But are you? And have you talked
Yeah,
a lot about not just this commonality, but having fathers who were absolute studs in college football at the Division I level in Florida?
yeah. Well, yeah, we kind of talk about it. My dad obviously played at FAU, so when I was a very small kid, I stayed down in Miami. But we were kind of different because I moved to Orlando, so I basically lived there my whole life, and we realized like once we got up here, it's not even close to the same than it is at home. It was a complete culture shock. But we have a lot of those similarities, just being from the same area and acting the same way. So we definitely got along really quick. And then obviously we're on opposite sides of the ball, and we test each other every single day at practice. So it was definitely like that's what grew us closer together.
Yeah. What has it been like going against him? I know you're going against other linebackers, other
Yeah.
defenders, but now you guys are both on the doorstep of what could be a special season, both individually and as a team for you. So, explain the intensity and also just the high level talents that both you and him have, and the moments that you might be having here in these early season practices and
Yeah.
scrimmages.
Honestly, Gabe, he's probably the hardest linebacker to figure out. I know he was saying like, sometimes it's hard to tackle me, but I really have to bring my A game every single day because he's very smart on defense. Like even when it comes to like maybe calling out our plays or knowing which way is gonna flow, like he makes me think, and we make each other better that way. Like even when we do, one on ones, pass protection and routes, like it's always a battle. It's like a war zone when me and him are going at it. So it's definitely a fun experience, and it's definitely getting us better for the season for sure.
Is there trash talking?
Not really. It's more so like bring each other along. Like we won't really trash talk, but sometimes it'll get a little up there where we just really competing, but we show love at the end of it because it's just work.
Um, Give USD fans who would love to be at practice watching you guys get ready for the season, but have jobs and lives.
Mhm.
Uh, from your perspective, as someone who's going to have the ball a lot, what you're seeing on the other side of the ball and what you're experiencing after the snap, like what kind of insights can you give into the USD defense?
Honestly, I'm super excited about our defense. I can say this, with 1,000% confidence that this is one of the best defenses that I've ever seen. I mean, coming from a very explosive offense, they do things that break our rules, that make it hard to do the things that we want to do. So I feel like any team we go against this year is going to have a really hard time trying to break them down because they're like Gabe said. I mean, they're very violent and they're physical and they're very smart and they're technically sound. Like it's a very hard defense, and honestly, being on the other side of it makes me happy because I know we don't have nothing to worry about.
What kind of rules have they broken? You said they've broken some
It's
rules,
just
just
the way they
for
play.
what your offense does,
Yeah,
not like
it's just like the way our ID system or how they play the run. They know how to play us. I'll say that.
okay, they're ready for you.
Yeah, we go against each other every day, so
Yeah.
obviously they start to figure out a lot more than they should, but it's good.
Who are the guys that are especially besides Gabe that are tough to run away from, and or the guys that you really don't want to get hit by?
I mean, honestly, kind of like Gabe said, pretty much everybody on the defense. I mean, our defense is so deep, like especially like our D line. Like our D line is crazy. Like we had like Chris Dixon obviously running that unit, being the leader, the oldest guy in that group. Him and LePerry are insane. We got to transfer Isaiah Ray. I don't like running to his side. I'm gonna just be honest.
Okay.
He's fast, he's physical, and once he gets hands on you, it's pretty much dead. But I'll say the entire defense. Honestly, I mean we're so deep, and we have a lot of guys that can play and make a lot of plays.
On your side of the ball, what's in front of you? The offensive line. Only one guy technically was a starter for most of last year, but we've documented this. We had a little college football preview show yesterday. Matt Zimmer and I, we really got into it with the depth that there is on the offensive line, some FBS experience. Brock Wolf, who was a Kansas State transfer who played for you guys last year, and just some behemoths. But you're the one that gets to the up close view
Yeah.
and needs them. Again, just take us there and what you see, what you experience.
Yeah, again, I'll say, very confident in that group. Days in, day out, they're working very hard. Coach Bain, he coaches them very hard, and it's definitely showing up at practice. They're doing the things that he needs them to do, and running behind them honestly feels good because I know I got time to make my cuts and do everything that I need to do to bust a long one. So honestly, I'm just super proud of that group. We're very deep in that department, and I'm excited to show you guys what we're working with.
Uh, we all know that the quarterback thing is sorting itself out, and there's three guys that are all trying to be the guy that steps into giant shoes of Aiden Bauman from the last 3 years. But you've had a chance to take handoffs or catch passes or block for all these guys.
Yeah.
Just take us through step by step what you have seen in each of them.
Yeah, for all of them, really, I'll definitely say, out of all those three guys, they all are very, consistent. They're you trust them when they're on the field, and they all make the right plays. As that separates itself out, I just know the guy who is going to take that first snap is going to be the guy that the coaches trust the most. And regardless, all 118 of us are going to, support them and do
Yeah.
whatever that is. I've been able to catch and, like you said, do all these things with them. And honestly, I'm just excited for whoever wins that role because they're all capable of doing that. They all have their own unique talents, and I'm just excited to see who's takes the first snap.
Yeah, we've Matt Vitzum has been very kind to document each of their own individual strengths and talents. So we'll refer to our interview with him in July to take care of that, and then we get to the running back room with you. LJ departs; he's at Iowa, uh, and how much back to bonding over commonalities. You had a season-ending injury last year. Keandre Logan Jones was able to come back later in the season, but I mean, you guys are such a powerful part, and we're expected to be of that offense. And you had it taken away from you early in the season. Uh, what have you seen out of him? And I'll ask, a follow up within the question: how much did you guys bond over being in the same boat last year, health wise?
Yeah, I'll definitely say this with the utmost confidence. Seeing Keandre come back, I believe firmly Keandre is the most explosive player in the country. And being able to see it every single day it's been awesome. And me and Keandre, we live together. We live together back in Florida. Like we've known each other since we were teenagers. So bonding has never like really been an issue, but we've definitely got a lot tighter ever since we both went through the same thing and went through very hard times together. So just being able to come back on the field together, we're very excited and like very happy for one another and ready to show everybody what we're working with.
Did you spend a lot of time together in the training room? That's what
Def-
someone from the outside would. Oh, every day.
Definitely, we were in there every day, every
Yeah.
single day,
How
working.
did you, knowing that you'd much rather be out there on the football field? I can't imagine how difficult that is psychologically for someone in that position. What did you guys do to try to keep yourselves sane, happy, optimistic? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
Honestly,
since you spent so much time together in the same boat, what take us in there?
honestly, what really helped was our relationships with other running backs. Like on game days, like we would get joy of watching the other running backs play because of the relationships we had with them, and a part of that kept us sane because it was like we were living through them. And also just knowing that when we come back, we'll be back to what we do, and we just had to sit out for a little bit, and we just came to terms with that either, and we just trusting in God and His plan. That was the biggest thing for us, and we just knew that we just got to stay down for a little bit. When we come back, it's gonna be down.
Uh, it's been a long time and it's been a long road back, but I haven't chatted with you since the injury at Lamar. Just for those who maybe haven't heard the story, take us there. What happened? What goes through your mind? How is it all handled after you realize you've been hurt pretty bad? All of it.
Yeah. So second game, believe it was the second quarter. I ran a drag, tried to catch a ball that was kind of behind me a little bit, uh, and I reached down. I couldn't catch the ball, and then I got hit, and my leg basically hyperextended. And I tore my LCL and my hamstring tendon. So at first, I didn't think that I tore it. I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't think I like tore anything. I thought it was maybe like just like a bone bruise or something small because I was able to still like walk and move on it. So when I got through to the tent, they said I should be fine. We just taped it up a little bit. I tried to go back in the game, so I went back in the game, and um, it didn't end well. I realized something was definitely wrong when I was trying to run and plant, and my last carry, I ended up being a fumble because I got hit in my knee again, and I was in so much pain that was just put me out for the rest of the game. And then I got an MRI the next week, and they told me that I tore my knee.
Like, how much pain were you in? Did it hurt to walk? Could you walk?
Yeah, it hurt to walk. I couldn't really get on the stairs to like go on the bus. It was hard for me to take my pads and my cleats off. Like I was in a lot of pain just because of how much swelling was in my knee and the fact that my hamstring tendon wasn't attached to my leg anymore. So it was definitely a lot of pain that I was in.
How did you process that? Not just having to be in that kind of pain, but knowing the season's been taken away from you. You're gonna have to spend a lot of time for a long time uh, recovering just to be able to walk, and then just to be able to play football and do the things you do again. What was that? What was that all like to go through?
It was definitely hard. I mean, I was one of the people that was like, I wouldn't know what to do if it happened to me.
Yeah.
And then it happened. So honestly, I just had to stay pretty optimistic. At first it was really hard because, I felt like it was taken from me and I feel like I had a lot to prove last season. But then I realized, it was all part of God's plan at the end of the day. And there was nothing I could really do about it except just go forward and get to the point that I'm at now.
When was the first moment that you realized, I'm totally back? I can do this. I can make all the cuts. I'm just as fast as I was. Uh, I'm back to being me again. Do you, can you remember that moment?
I would definitely say probably the first time I kind of felt it was in the summer during summer workouts when we were doing timers,
Yeah.
and we were running like fly tens, and I felt like I was moving, and I had like the fastest time on the team, and I was like, okay, now I'm starting to feel good. And then I would say in the middle of fall camp, I had one or like a really good practice where I had a couple long runs and touchdowns, and I was like, okay, now I'm getting my confidence back. I'm ready to go. And that since then, it's been pretty much on since.
We all try to get sometimes in the mindset to live vicariously through you guys that have this immense athletic ability. And so I always wonder, if you went through what you went through last year, how much, what's the fear factor? How much do you think about ever being back there? Does it make you hesitant at all, or do you just always think forward?
I always try to think forward, honestly, because if I worry too much, I start getting hesitant in my play. And the last thing I want to do is be hesitant and play slow because that's just not how I play.
Yeah.
So honestly, I just go out there full force and just do what I can because at the end of the day, we're playing a game that we love to play. So whatever comes with it, it comes with it. And I'm just trusting in my knee, trusting in everything that I've done and all the work I put in, and just hoping that everything goes smooth.
Dude, I can't imagine how pumped you are to get back out there and get after it. Like, how describe to me how much, and how do you is it hard to handle? Like, do you wish next Saturday were tomorrow, or are you pretty process oriented? You can hold back.
It's kind of both. Like, I mean, I get to the point where sometimes I can't sleep because I'm so excited. But at the end of the day, like you said, I'm process oriented. I understand I have to go through this first to get there, and which is fine. It just gives me a little bit more time to get stronger and faster. But I'm so pumped. Like even right now, I'm like kind of shaking thinking about it. I'm just ready to go out there and play football again.
Last one. I got to ask you about Matt Vitzthum. He obviously was a co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. All of a sudden, he's the head coach. What have you noticed about him that really has stuck out since the day he took over?
Honestly, was stuck out to me, and it's always been even before he was a head coach, was how much of a player's coach that he is. Coach V, he definitely cares about his players, and that's what honestly drew all of us to him in the first place. And he makes it an emphasis that no matter what or who is doing what, the superstar of the team is the team, and everyone respects that about him. It's never about one person; it's about all of us together. And I feel like with him being that way, it makes everyone feel involved, no matter what their role is,
Yeah,
and it's very important to us. And like I said, I mean, I love Coach V, and I'm very excited for him for his
yeah.
first year as a head coach. And I'm just ready to rock for him.
Yeah, well, we're ready to rock as well. I know. I wish tomorrow was April 20 or August 29th
Yeah.
to see you guys hit the field in the dome against Central Connecticut State. So really appreciate you kind of getting us all in gear, and excited to see you play again. Thanks for being, for sharing with us what this experience has been like, and best of luck. Looking forward to it.
No problem. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Charles Pierre Jr., your running back for the University of South Dakota. And that'll do it for our USD show today. A big thanks to the voice of the Coyotes, John Thayer, to Gabe Hartman, the linebacker, and to Charles and to Steve Carlson at USD for helping us set all this up. We'll be chatting with Matt Vinstham each and every week, starting next week. For video producer Cordell Wright, I'm John. Happy hour and cheers.
You need anything else, John?
No, I think I'm good, Greg. I think I'm going to tap out.
All right. Have a good night.